Like, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
What is your mission?
Mm-hmm.
And how can you work towards that, right? Because I truly believe everyone's here for a reason.
I do too.
And I feel like if anyone feels stuck, chances are you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
100%. We are officially out of office.
We're out of office. Hi,
the
guys.
auto reply is on.
Yep. How
Let's
are you guys?
go.
I hope you guys are doing well. I am in a very, very good mood today.
I'm so glad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get there. I'm working on it.
Hopefully this will lift your spirits up.
Okay. It always does because I love our conversation.
Me too.
I hope that does the same thing for other people.
Yeah.
I feel like this has been a challenging week for a lot of people I know. And so I was like, I'm so glad we have this podcast. I've just been sending the
Something
link
to
to
look
people.
forward to. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, it will make you laugh because it makes me laugh.
Yes. I agree. I don't know if you ever listened, you obviously listened back to our episodes. So there was one day I was driving, listening back, and there was a moment where I forgot it was us talking.
Oh,
it was like
I do that too.
I was like, oh, that was funny. I'm like, oh wait, I said that.
I'm like, I like these girls. Oh, it's
wait,
us.
That's me. That's Jayne. Every day I'm not every day, but every time I see you, I marvel at like your hair and your makeup. Like I think I'll probably we'll start every podcast being like, girl, what is this?
I see you, girl. Seriously. We start every podcast with I see you, girl, anyway.
This lip color.
Well, thank you.
The eye color. I don't know if you guys watch the video component, like there's this purple.
Okay, so it's Gucci purple eyeliner. So I'm a very big, like, basic makeup brand kind of person. Like, I will go to Sephora and go to the Sephora brand section for, like, basic colors, basic foundation, if I want to try something new. But then there's sometimes where there's something very specific that's like a pop that I'm going to splurge. And that is the Gucci purple under eye, the eyeliner.
So it's an Gucci purple eyeliner. So if I go into Sephora and say, hey,
it's a pencil eyeliner.
The Gucci purple.
It's the Gucci purple. I don't know what the name of the color is, but it's the Gucci purple.
Okay.
It needs to be that bright, highly pigmented purple.
Yeah.
Because what I do, I use it as a base color, and then I come in with the basic blue just underneath, like a dark color to set it off, and then it gives like a glow.
Oh, so it's two things you have there.
I have two eyeliners. So I have like a foundational color that's like bright and highly pigmented. So I do it with more than the purple. Like I have a blue that's like very highly bright and pigmented. I think it could work with a lot of different colors, but you need to set it off with a dark color. So like I'll do just a thin like waterline line of the like blue or maybe even a black to set that purple off. So then you really see it. So it looks like it's glowing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it can be like, that could be all your eye makeup. You don't need to do like a top liner.
I love it.
I'm all about the...
I also love how we're matching today.
We are.
This was not intentional.
I know. The mustard yellow. Mustard yellow cardigan.
Yeah. I got this one from Madewell. I love Madewell.
I don't even know where I got. I think I got this from TJ Maxx.
Love TJ Maxx.
I'm like obviously a big efficiency shopper.
Yes.
I love discounts.
We never pay full price.
No, I love discounts.
I love discounts. I actively, it's like my sport. I hunt.
Doesn't feel like sport?
It feels like a sport. It's
feels like a sport.
It's like it's a black job, actually.
I know, it's a black job.
My black job is finding discounts.
My black job is finding discounts too.
Because I love nice things.
Yes.
And
I love not to overpay.
I don't like paying full price for nice things.
I love getting the value of my hard-earned coins.
Yes. So Black Friday is like my Super Bowl. And then
Which is coming up.
Seriously, I already shopped last night. Black owned brand, Hanifa, and she has this bag that I have been coveting, and she started her Black Friday last night, and I got that joint 50% off.
Well, send me the link.
I will send you the link.
I need to see. This goes into my I See You Girl, Black Girl Big Up, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, we should actually dedicate an episode to shopping.
Yes, we need to. Ooh,
because
especially around like the holidays.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of that in this episode, but like we should really, like, we can just put y'all on to like the websites and how, you know, because I make wish lists and then, you know, I create an account, make a wish list, go back to that website to check if it's been discounted.
Oh, that's really smart.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think about that.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I have a wish list for Net-a-Porter. I have the Outnet. I have my Teresa. I have Intermix.
I love my Teresa.
I have all these things, right? And so I wish list everything. And then I frequently check to see if it's been discounted. Sometimes they'll even send you an email, like an item that you've been looking at is now at lower price.
That should be standard.
I know.
I feel like.
So then you get all these
right.
amazing things for like 30, 40, 50. And if you're on the Outnet, it's like 80% off.
Well, we definitely need to do a shopping episode.
Yes,
I need to hear about. I need to up my shopping game. Evidently, we have some one of us here.
Don't worry, baby,
is more advanced than the other.
I have perfected this craft. Okay.
Well, on the topic of shopping,
yes,
I want to give a Black girl a big up, and I see you, girl, to Blair Imani. She is on Instagram as BLAIRIMANI, Blair Imani, and she is smarter in seconds. She posted a video of Black woman-owned businesses. So you can make a swap if you want to participate in the economy and that's part of your voice and your activism, and you want to support Black woman-owned businesses. She gives a very helpful, here's your swap. If you want to, have a Black woman-owned business for your coffee, for your, so it's
I think I saw this.
Yeah,
yes.
It's really helpful. I loved it. So I see you, girl.
One of my homegirls is on that list.
That one. Is she?
Yeah, she is an author of children's books.
Oh, okay.
So it's The Amazing Adventures of I.N.P.
There's shoes. I'm looking at it right now. There's shoes. There's makeup. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So and what I loved about it is it's not the ones that you just hear about all the time.
Right.
Which I think we have to do our diligence in constantly looking for brands. If we're going to support Black women-owned businesses, Black businesses, underrepresented founders and businesses, we can't just go directly to the ones that we hear about parroted all the time.
That's right.
Because a lot of times those aren't even the ones that we picked. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that's part of the work of it. And I try to, in particular as an author, I'm always trying to look for self-published authors who haven't gotten to the platformed, but who have quality work that deserves recognition. So that's just part of our activism that we've decided to do, even though we're on break. But we are only doing what we want to do.
Correct. In fact, I think we're introducing a new segment today called Minding My Black Business, which I will do just that.
There we go.
Because look, we didn't even talk about this and we were already on the same. Look at this.
Oh, should we do Minding My Black? Because I do need to say I see you, girl, because you obviously look beautiful as usual.
Thank y'all.
The hair is hairing.
Thank y'all.
If you're listening and you've never checked out our videos, check out our videos online because we film all of this. So you'll hear us referencing things. And we do put work into how we come to the table.
Yes. Before we go into, because Mind My Black Business, we'll talk about that in a bit later, but I have a We See You Girl for this lovely young woman. Her name is, I think it's Nia Moore. On Instagram, she goes by The Real Nia Moore. She is a private jet flight attendant.
I've seen her.
But
I think I follow her.
Right? But she's also a content creator. And she is living her single best life. She is #table for one, right? And she has tons of fun. She's like playing beach volleyball. She gives very main character energy. She's literally the star of everything. Like, she's sexy. She got shiny hair.
She works out. She does
always
everything.
Surrounded by beautiful men. Like,
love it.
She stayed having to find man in her video.
Really?
She was last in Malaga, Spain. I think that's how you pronounce it. She's like, I was supposed to be here for 5 days, but it turned into 10. and she has this reel. And I'm just like, wow. She's just great content. She always, every time she shows up in my timeline, she always puts a smile on my face. So shout out to Nia Moore. I really
see you, girl.
Yeah, I look forward to whenever I'm like, oh, where is she at now? Like and then she also, I think she lives here. So she also recommends really cool LA spots to
I
eat
saw. Yeah,
at.
that's what I actually started following her from her food videos. And I was just
Yes.
like, I love to see women in particular really enjoying food just
She eats
widely. And a burger.
She
a
gets
good
down.
burger. That's
right.
my thing.
It's not like the dainty. She'd be like, look at this quarter pounder. I'm about to, and she takes these huge bites. Like she really enjoys. She looks like she has a lot of fun with her life. So she's the embodiment of Black girl joy. Seriously.
Which is what we need.
Yes.
So I feel like this is a podcast too that is meant to bring that element, that spark of joy, you know, because I think in these times, like I have a lot of people that are for whatever reason feeling not at their best. And I think at the holiday times in particular, people get down.
That's true.
And so I think that if we can bring that energy every week, a place where people can go where they need a little pick-me-up, we got you, girl.
Hopefully we're the place for you guys.
Or guy or whomever.
Yes. Come as you are. All are
Boo.
welcome.
We got you, boo.
We got you. We got you. So, okay, what are you on right now?
I am
Moving on to
what I'm on right now.
You remember our jingle from last week?
I'm like, can I hit the notes?
I
Singing lessons.
Love that. Oh, that's right.
That's right. Okay, so what I'm on right now is I am watching Netflix. Is that for my what's good though?
I mean, it's. I think it's interchangeable, but
okay. Well,
I'm gonna use
it's
your podcast too. You do whatever you want.
I'm gonna use that right now. Okay, so what I'm on right now, which is also my what's good, and these may fit in 2 segments, but I'm watching Netflix Rhythm and Flow. And it's season 2. Because, of course, I watched season 1. I also watched it for France. I'm watching it for Brazil. So
wait. For those who don't know what Rhythm and Flow is, myself included.
Okay, so
what is Rhythm
and Flow? I'm sorry, because I assume that everybody is sitting with me on my couch.
Right.
Riveted. So Rhythm and Flow is a competition reality show where aspiring rappers come to the competition through... You know, they have auditions, and they're in competition to get a $250,000 prize. And they have judges. So this season's judges, they're Ludacris, We the Best, DJ Khaled, and God Did. Like, he has all his taglines that I love. And then Lotto.
Oh.
Okay, and then they have a guest every week. So it was Busta Rhymes this past week, in I think episode 3.
Why don't I know about this show?
He's like a prophet now. Like, he has all these like...
Wait. You said season 2?
Season 2. Season 1 was Cardi B, and I can't remember who the other people were, but it was very entertaining. And D Smoke came, who is the brother of Sir, the R&B singer, came out of that as the winner, who's a very talented musician. Oh, wow. Not just a MC, but a musician. So D Smoke was the winner of season 1.
Okay.
So it gave us the gift of, I think, a very talented artist on Radar. And then season 2 now is all new. The first round is taking place in Atlanta, and it's just, you know, this... Shout out to Detroit. Big Sean was the first guest judge. Okay. And then there was incredible, you know, performers from Detroit and Flint also. Anyway, in the first round. But it's a whole bunch of rappers that come and they perform, and obviously they're in competition. Wow. But their stories are so heartfelt. But what I'm on right now about this, so it's my what's good because I love it. And I love watching, evidently I'm a reality competition junkie alongside relationship drama. But what I loved about it was seeing the people and their stories, and they're coming to this competition in this all or nothing moment that they've built up, right?
Right.
And they go, and some of them do a great job and they get through the next round, and some of them don't. And I found that what was most interesting was when they don't make it through to the next round, what the judges said. And the judges were saying, look, this moment is not your career. You feel that way because you've built it up. Right. But what we're trying to give you is the most valuable thing, which is the feedback. And it made me think about people and us in general, how we present ourselves to like individual moments. And we think, oh, this is our, you know, do or die type of experience. But really, it's a moment of learning, just like any other moment. And it's a moment of whatever you're going to get out of that moment is a reflection of your preparation to that point. And so a lot of those people really didn't belong. You know what I mean? Well, no. But I'm just saying they didn't do the work. Because somebody said, they're like, who's your favorite artist? And she said it was like Missy Elliott, you know, or they said it was Missy Elliott. And it's like, well, do you feel like what you just performed would stand next to Missy Elliott? And they were like, well, yeah. And he was like, okay, well, your self-confidence is admirable, but
no.
but I think I think the point in that, you know, was that we get these opportunities. If you have proximity to somebody that is a master of something, you have to have done the work to get the benefit of that proximity and that exposure and that moment.
That's right.
So this show to me was all about that, like the culmination of work and moments.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that's what I'm on right now.
Okay, maybe I should check it out.
That's what I'm on right now.
All right. Well, I'm not on that, but I need to be, it sounds like. Speaking of our earlier topic with shopping, well, that looks good actually. She's drinking something. But anyways, so what I'm on, you know, starting to Christmas shop.
Yes.
And I keep coming across these really unique Advent calendars. And look, I know Jesus is the reason for the season. Okay, I get it. However, these unique calendars.
But shopping till you dropping keeps it popping.
Listen, but these Advent calendars have me in a chokehold. I just keep finding them.
It's very European too, by the way.
Well, whatever it is, I love it.
You can have an Advent calendar for anything. So what is that? What's the most interesting one that you found?
So typically they're like the ones that we find, or the one I grew up with, they were chocolates, right? You open each one, you get a little chocolate. We do that with Lisbon, my daughter. But Macy's has a beauty one where each one you open up, it's like a beauty product.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a Japanese whiskey one, which I'm a big fan of, Japanese whiskey. Then Swarovski has one.
Now Swarovski has one.
It's a little bit too rich for my blood.
Okay.
But you again, it's like these little cute trinkets.
Really?
Swarovski jewels, trinkets.
That are like jewelry or they're like ornaments?
Ornaments. It's really gorgeous. It's $1,200 if you want to, you know, splurge. Not me. But there's a California wine one that I came across that I purchased. So each day you open one up and it's a different, you know, California wine. It can be a red, it can be white, it can be blends, all that stuff. I am obsessed. And now I'm like, I want to find more Advent calendars because the possibilities are endless, it feels like.
I am a big fan of an Advent calendar. I like the chocolates, but I think that having a little surprise, I mean, I think we should have this all year round, by the way.
Who is going to come up with a 365 surprise, little thing? We probably should do that.
We should.
We
should.
The
Black Girl Joy.
Black Girl Joy.
Advent calendar of 365 days a year.
Oh.
Of joy. Look. Okay.
Yup, right. Yup.
You heard it here first.
Yes. But like, how do you package that?
We're gonna figure it out.
Or is it something that like you order it and then like it shows up at your door?
Maybe you get one
every
a month. Right.
Oh.
See? We're on a wavelength.
That's it. Then it's year long. But anyways, these Advent calendars are awesome and I love them and I'm really excited for my California wine one too. Show up at my doorstep.
I'm excited. You have to tell me how it goes.
I
want to hear about all the wines.
Oh, I will.
That's how I basically get all of my wine discoveries from all of my friends.
Yeah.
So
we do the work for you.
Yes, I know. That's what friends are for.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking out for you because I want your wine drinking experience to be a pleasure.
Right. Especially when we're drinking together.
Exactly.
That's what friends are for.
Hello.
Caring is sharing.
Caring is sharing. All right. I love this segment. Jesus, take the wheel. You found a good one. You found a really good one.
Wait, tell me which one it was.
It's the cruise ship one. This
has been a week.
Listen, that's why we're doing this together.
So literally, Jesus take the wheel on this one because evidently, the literal and figurative wheel. There's a cruise ship.
Yes.
That is allowing people. They're selling voyages for 4 years now to avoid the next 4 years of the incoming administration. Like you literally get on a boat And for 4 years, your address is on the water. Your address is not here.
Oh my gosh.
Like, your address is I'm not here for 4 years. It's $40,000 a year, and there's like 141 destinations over the 4 years.
$40,000 a year?
$40,000 a year for 4 years.
That's it?
That's it. That's it. And your food's included. It's like all inclusive, and this becomes your home.
Wait, hold on now. This might be a what's good.
No, it's a Jesus take the wheel.
Okay.
Because there is a big but. There's a huge asterisk on this. Because evidently this boat.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say evidently because I don't have the right in front of me that I'm reading, but I did read the article, was stranded at port for 4 months.
Excuse me?
It was something like 4 months. So
the boat was stranded at port. Why?
For months because I guess it needed repair. It was just a mess. So this does not have a good track record of meeting expectations. So I feel like while we all want to go. This may be a huge Jesus take the wheel kind of story because I feel like everything needs to go exactly perfectly, and there's a lot of elements to this that sound too good to be true.
Yeah, especially it being $40,000.
Yeah, the $40,000 a year all inclusive. So that's cheaper than some people's rent.
That's what I'm saying.
It's all your food and you're on the one. But I guess if you're going in international waters and there's I don't know. I'm sure they worked out their math.
But you're visiting 140 countries?
140 countries.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Look,
but also
take that.
4 years straight on the water?
Well, you stop at destinations.
But still on a boat for 4 years
that's where you
straight.
live for
That's
4
a
years.
lot. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's tempting though. But this is, you understand why it's a Jesus take the wheel and not a what's good.
That's, yeah.
Because
how many people are on this boat?
Exactly. And who?
Oh, that's right. Who?
Mm-hmm.
That's key.
Have you ever been on a cruise and you were like,
these are not my people?
Yeah, and then you got your dinner assignment and it's like,
you're right.
Just go to the buffet.
This is why I did one cruise. I think it was Carnival. And it was with the hubby when we were dating. And that was a really fun summer. We were all over the place. We went to San Diego. We went to Bahamas. We went to Montreal. We were doing our thing. And it was Bahamas for 3 or 4 days. And we left out of Miami because we never done a cruise. And we were like, let's just do it. And it was really cheap. Red flag there. And it was all right. But that's when I realized I am very bougie. Mm-hmm. I have champagne tastes.
Yes.
So from that moment...
And you need to know that about yourself.
That's right. Because from that moment, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to cruise like this again. So then I started looking at the cruises I wanted to be on. Like Viking River cruises. His parents went on a barge cruise where it was like on the river in France. And it's a slow moving like barge that you can just walk on and off. I was like, yes, I want to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that one is like, it's still pricey, but I hope that in the next couple of years I can splurge on it. It's like $5,000 a person, not including the flights, but it's like an 8-person barge cruise.
Oh, 8-person.
Yeah, like super, like, so with the price tag, you know who you're rolling with. Mm-hmm. It's going to be quiet. Mm-hmm. It's going to have good food, and the excursions are going to be at the level that, right?
That you. I heard Alaska was something like that too, but I felt like I heard Alaska was a really good cruise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like you have to have a certain level of maturity to really enjoy that cruise. I think like the disco's not going to be popping on the Alaska cruise.
No, I don't want no discos popping. I don't want to see a disco
So you have
ball.
to be past that. I feel like, when you had your days where you need the... I remember when I was younger, we would go on cruises and I was like, we go to the disco and we want other people... we want it to be like a spring break type of adventure. And now, so you have to reach a certain point of maturity where like that's just not...
And look, if
you
that's
want the opposite.
If that's your vibe...
if you're doing the Alaska cruise. My grandmother did the Alaska
If you want to do the disco ball, by all means, have at it. But at this point in my life, I don't want to see a disco ball. I want to see good food. I want to drink great wine. I want to turn in at a decent time so I can wake up and watch the sunrise from my balcony.
Boom.
With
which is what you're paying for.
Dolomites in the background. That's what I want. I don't even, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, geographically, I don't even know if that makes sense, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so what's good?
What is good?
This is my what's good.
Okay.
This is something that I'm a history nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I discover something historically, I'm like, wow, why didn't I know about this? Mm-hmm. So Palm Springs recently came to an agreement to pay out reparations to a group of families that lived in this area called Section 14, $6 million because they were, shocker, pushed out from their homes in the 50s and 60s. So the actual folks that were pushed out and the descendants of those individuals will get $6 million. And not only that, but whoever made this decision, they are committed to spending an additional $20 million.
Really?
Yes. To housing programs.
Well, I think these local municipalities that are doing these reparations initiatives is, especially particularly in California, is the future of this conversation that needs to be had. Because when I was researching my book, so The Most Wonderful Time, which started out as it was going to be a rom-com with depth and soul anyway. But when I started researching the California coastline, because I put a Black woman in Malibu and I had to research, okay, well, what is that going to mean to her? How is Malibu going to treat her? And so, every place you have to ask that question, and I had to go back historically because Malibu in particular is a very insular place, very homogenous, 10,500 residents. And let's say there's maybe 400 Black people in all of that. And people don't feel particularly comfortable or at home because of certain things that have happened. And when you think of, Malibu as like this prime surfing beach, you don't think of Black people as part of that story or legacy or representation. So again, we ask, why is that? And so that's what I had to do as a writer. And there are so many stories along the California coastline of projects that were begun by Black investor groups, investors, especially in the 20s and 30s, where they began the project or started the project, and for whatever reason, state and local governments were used to take that property away, those projects away, or to end those projects, or to subvert the investment. So, for example, Santa Monica now, there's, I think it was the Ebony Beach Club.
Right.
Santa Monica now is examining reparations in that way on a local level.
Wow.
And those conversations are happening within California. I know we've talked about, or I don't think we've talked about it in the podcast, but I think people are very familiar with Bruce's Beach in Manhattan Beach, where, the state of California did give the land back to the family.
Correct.
However, the way that the land was zoned, they couldn't get the full economic value out of the land for commercial build. It was not zoned that way. So they did get some money back, but the real generational legacy of ownership and being able to develop that land and use it just like anyone else, still they did not fully receive because they didn't have the money to do all the legal battling for rezoning. So a lot of these things, I'm glad that California is leading the way in this, but there's so many examples. So I'm just glad. I think that's very good.
Very. I was
that it's happening and that it can happen and that we know it should happen and that we know that there's a value to some of these experiences that needs, that's payable and due, So kudos to California.
Kudos to California. Look,
kudos to Planet California.
I'm really excited to see how, these housing programs come together. There's also a land trust that they also putting together for low-income residents. So I hope that whoever they are, they see this and they see that it is possible to do this and achieve these reparations in a way where it can really be effective, not just in, hey, we'll pay you back, but also how do we ensure the future?
Right, exactly. And what does that look like? And I think those are important questions. What is the measure of what was done? And I think we have to ask ourselves that question as Black people in particular too. What is our measure? We can't just be that. I'm glad these municipalities are taking the initiative, but I think we also need to know and acknowledge for ourselves that yes, something was taken.
Yep.
And then so what, and do that internal investigation of what is the measure and what is it that is going to make us whole.
Exactly.
But I think that this is a great. This is where we should be starting and continuing. So that is good. Very good.
Very good.
And very good.
So you want to go on to minding my Black business?
Yes. That's your segment.
I love
you
this
are
segment.
Ready for it.
Yes, because this is the thing. When we say minding our Black business is usually when we are out of office, right?
Yes.
But this one is it. I really think that we should also, from time to time, spotlight some Black businesses that we love. And I'm a big fan of his name is Chef Eric Adjepong. He's a Food Network star.
Oh yeah.
Ghanaian. I think he's first gen. But he's having a moment. So he's releasing a cookbook. He has a children's book. He has a home decor line at Crate & Barrel. And he recently announced that he's opening his first brick and mortar restaurant in D.C.
Oh, great.
What up, D.C.? Because I'm from D.C.
I used to live in D.C.
That's right.
Yep.
It's called Elimina.
Oh, okay.
And
what's the food?
It's West African, like fusion. So you're going to have your staples like fufu because I'm West African. My family's from Benin. So, but if he cooks anything like my nephew's wife, who's from Ghana, the food is going to be bomb.
Oh.
Bomb. And what I'm excited about is the fusion piece.
Yeah.
So he's going to do something like cassava udon noodles.
Oh, really?
And egusi hummus.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right? So I'm really excited to try that out. So it's going to open in January next year. Top of the year.
Next time I'm in DC, top of the year.
We should check it out.
But I watch him on the Food Network all the time.
Right?
Yeah. I love that.
Very happy for him.
I love that he has been able to use his positioning to broaden his brand, and I will love to see more people follow suit.
Yes.
Because I think that I think I'm a big Food Network watcher. And I am enjoying seeing the diversity start to develop.
It's been intentional across the Scripps Network, Food Network, and HGTV, and I am appreciative. I think that, and the fact that these stars are becoming successful.
Right.
Also, I hope that they can continue with that trend and find other folks to put on the screen.
Exactly.
But yes, I'm a big fan of Eric, and I'm very, very excited. Anyone that's African, honestly, when they succeed, I'm always like, yes.
I need to find lately I've been trying a food box service where it's like they give you the measured portions and then you cook it with the recipe, which has actually been enjoyable. I think we do like 3 meals a week. We've been doing 3 meals a week like that when I'm not traveling. But I would love to find a Black-owned box like that has, has food from the diaspora that you can make. I would love that.
That's such a good idea.
I'm going to look for it. Next episode, if I can find it, I'll
yes, look for it.
Because I haven't seen it. I have never seen like anything like with African flavors or even
anything
African American,
anything in the diaspora, really.
Yeah, Caribbean. Like I just haven't gotten that. I'm like, can I get some jerk chicken? Something. Jerk spice.
See, that's.
I want to make. You know what I mean? I want to make some flavor.
True.
With the H.
True, but with jerk chicken though, that's a very particular thing.
But see, that's the whole point of the
box. You want to go to someone that knows what they're doing with the jerk chicken.
Well, I would like somebody who could like give me like, here's the ingredients, here's some directions, and this is going to be, 80% along the way. Like it may not be.
It may not be 100% Jamaican, but we'll get you. Be Jamaican like.
It's gonna get you in the
vicinity.
Yeah.
That's right.
You might not be on the field, but you're gonna be in the doors.
Well,
that's where I would
called. If it's not out there, maybe that's something else we should also work on.
Right? I know. But if somebody's listening,
yes,
drop us a line and let us know where we can find that.
That's so true. That's so true. Do you have anything that you want to add to the Minding My Black business? Is there one that you want to highlight?
What I need to do, I want to make a list. I'm working on this right now. I'm in an edit, so. A very intensive edit. We're pushing towards a deadline in the next 2 weeks. So but after that, one of my goals is to put together a list of Black authors that you should read that you haven't necessarily heard of.
Yes.
And that's part of minding my Black business because writing and intellectual property is a business, and it's one of the most easily accessed businesses that someone can begin, especially when you've been historically disenfranchised and you don't really have access to capital, and it's a low capital intensive or low capital requirement business, but it really is a business. Writing is a business, just like people have, you hear stories of like their uncle or somebody in the basement doing inventions and they got a patent and then they made all this money and they sold it for $100,000, $100 million, whatever it is. With writing, and it's a business just like any other business. So I really want to put together a list of Black authors that we can support during this time, whose names you're not really going to hear, or you might not hear echoed as much as some of the names that we all kind of know.
That's right.
So that's just something that's near and dear to my heart. I started out self-published. I know how difficult it can be to find and develop a platform. And I think some people, I know there's people out there that definitely deserve to have some attention. So that's
I love that.
That is what is bubbling. It takes some work.
Yes.
But that's what I'm working on.
I'm ready for that list because
we want to support.
We want to support.
We want to support.
So on to health and healing. Do you want to jumpstart that section?
Yes. So, holiday time.
Yes.
And what I'm working on right now is developing a healthy relationship and the balance between getting fluffier and staying healthy.
Not getting fluffier.
Well, look, we're going to put on a few pounds during this time, right?
That's right.
And I feel like because I am a historic, just notorious yo-yo body. I gain weight, I lose weight. I gain weight, I lose weight. I work out, I diet, I'm a size 6, then I'm a size 12. I literally run the scope back and forth. And there's a part of me that feels like I'm holding my breath until I am at the size that I feel like I want, that I'm most comfortable. And I think that's different for everybody. But my health and healing goal for right now is to stop holding my breath, to just celebrate what I'm going to look like in any given day and find something that I enjoy about that. So the holidays, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna work out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my consistent schedule, but I'm not really, trying to think about how do I not put on extra pounds during the holiday. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So my goal, instead of trying to prevent that, is to work on the way that I'm viewing this. It's just like, this is just another version of myself, but keeping that baseline of my fitness regimen. I'm still going to work out. I'm still going to, mind my protein intake and my water intake and all of those things, but I'm also not going to feel bad.
And you shouldn't.
I'm not going to feel bad about myself.
You shouldn't, because also, first of all, you look great. But you shouldn't. I like this pressure that you're taking off of yourself, because it doesn't really make sense, because at the end of the day, like, your happiness is what matters, right? You're the most, right? Mm-hmm. So if you are doing the things that you need to do, everything else will fall into place, right? So enjoy that hot chocolate or that eggnog or whatever.
That piece of cake or that ice cream. The other day I was like, I need to go get some ice cream. It is like that kind of day.
Yeah, just have it.
And I'm like aware that it's emotional eating, but I'm like, okay, I'll measure out a serving.
Right.
I'm going to do the ice cream, but I'm going to measure out a serving of the ice cream.
Right.
I'm going to put the pint away, and I'm going to give myself this moment and this grace, but not, but you don't have to overdo it.
You don't have to, a version of that I do is I don't have it in the house. So if I want something, I have to go get it. And sometimes I don't get it because I don't want to go out.
Right.
But I I just don't get it.
It's like, it's just not worth it.
I'm like, oh, I really want, no, I'm not going in the car. I'm not getting it. But if I do want something and I'm out, I will get it. Because it's that one serving, right? Another thing that I like to do is I have a very similar relationship with food and body image and all that stuff, like that what you just spoke about. So I incorporate fasting, and I fast once a week.
I love to hear you talk about that. And when you tell me, you're like, oh, today's my fasting day. And
I did it yesterday.
I think for some people I think it might be easier for some people because when I'm trying to do a diet or reduce, or I just feel like I need to have days where I just feel normal.
Yeah.
And I think for some people, fasting might be a better option because instead of trying to contort your way into changing everything about how you eat, maybe it's nice to just have some normal days and then some days where you just abstain.
100%.
And it balances out.
I feel my best when I incorporate fasting. Yeah. And when I'm talking about fasting, I'm not talking about intermittent fasting. I'm talking about 36 to 40 hour, maybe even beyond that fasting, where I just drink water. Sometimes I have coffee. I find that my inflammation goes down, my brain fog goes away, my skin clears up, my knees don't hurt. I sleep really. My sleep is at its best. My hormones are balanced. All the things that you have to think about when you reach a certain age. Yeah. Right. So
it does matter.
And it does matter. And fasting is the easiest and cheapest way for me. Right. And my bank account thanks me for it because I'm not spending money on food, especially if I'm fasting. Right. I journal. During it, I pray, I meditate, all these things. And I find that I'm at my happiest or I feel normal when I incorporate those
we have to talk more about that. We have to talk a lot more
about I can talk about fasting. All the benefits.
We should incorporate a segment on, I don't know if it's what I'm on right now, but maybe we have a segment where we talk, because I think we're both really focused on optimizing health. And I won't call it anti-aging, but I'll call it youth maintenance.
Youth maintenance. I love that.
I'm really big about youth maintenance.
That's what it is. It's youth maintenance because the benefits of fasting, there's so many things, particularly your gut health. That's the thing that I really want people to understand whenever I talk to people about this, is that your gut health is so important. Balancing figuring out what that microbiome is, the good bacteria, the bad bacteria, because if it's bad, your whole body is messed up.
Your whole system is messed up.
It's all messed up.
Those little bad creatures are dancing the night away in your colon.
Seriously.
But I think that also is important for what we've been talking about, and what our focus is that we're developing. Like, what are we doing with all this extra time that we're not investing in
the shenanigans?
In the shenanigans, where we are refocused on ourselves and investing that time in ourselves. And it's a new concept in a way where it's just like, okay, I really am going to double down in investing in myself in all ways. So as people are listening, we're also feeling out and developing how we want to do this because it's novel. It's a new concept. This is a new day.
It's a new day.
We are really figuring out what does it mean to invest in ourselves? What does it mean to measure what we need, what we're owed, what is the cost of the experiences that we have been having, how we've been treated, and what do we need to put ourselves not just at a baseline, but to thrive, to really thrive. So I think that I would love to hear more about fasting. I'll talk more about youth maintenance because there's a lot that I do for youth maintenance, actually. It is a whole protocol.
And it's working. Because we are both look like we're in our 30s.
So, I know, when we are not.
And we are definitely not.
I am knocking on the door
My knees definitely don't feel 31.
Honey.
See, no one would know. No one would know.
Knocking on the door.
Real quick, before we jump into the closing of this episode, I want to talk about when talking about having free time, more time, becoming the CEO of your own shit, right? So Evan Shapiro is he calls himself a media cartographer.
Okay.
And he's someone that has a Substack that I read frequently. And he kind of looks at the industry that I'm in entertainment, and kind of lays the land, gives us the lay of the land. And what basically the bottom line is that the industry is changing rapidly into something that we've never seen before. And so he talks about future-proofing your career.
Yes.
Right? And so when he says become the CEO of your own shit, it doesn't mean like, oh, we have to all quit our jobs and start our own businesses.
Girl, this is beautiful.
Right. But it is looking at your skill sets and your talents and figuring out what they are and how it's related to you as a person and not the job that you're currently in. Because that's how you future-proof your career.
Right.
So I did a version of this many years ago when I was leaving one particular place and looking for another place to join. And I didn't have all the things that people would necessarily, that people would definitely go, okay, she's the right person for this job. But I had two things. I had good taste and I had passion.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all I had.
That's an artist.
Right? And so, because I was so focused on the job. Like, I have to get this job, and then I have to get this job, and then I have to get this job. But I wasn't focusing on, like, what I wanted to do and how the things I wanted to do and finding the right environment that will allow it to thrive. Right? So once I removed this tunnel vision of this particular job, and then I took a step back and was like, yo, I have these two skill sets. So how do I ensure that wherever I go next allows me to not work on these, but like show off these skill sets?
Yeah.
The job hunting process was different. So I ended up actually turning down 3 jobs offers. I removed myself from one position, turned down 2 offers, then which landed at my current position, because I knew that I needed to be in a place where I can show off my passion and my good taste. And then everything else that I need for that role, I will learn along the way, right? So it's basically what he's saying is look at your talent as your superpower, and look at those superpowers as a small business.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But I even want to take it a step further.
And I do too.
Because I think it's one thing to zero in on your talents. It's another thing to look at how your talents match why you are here. Right? I feel like I have a specific mission at this point in time on Earth. And it's not a specific job.
When you say here, you mean here on Earth.
On Earth.
Yes.
Now I'm going to get a little woo-woo.
Yeah.
So this is the woo-woo segment. It's not just a job. It's not the career. Why are you here on this earth? What is the mission that God has put you here for, right? And so I know what my superpowers are, my talents are. And I've recently sat down to think about why I'm here. And I've had a very good career doing what I do, but it's not that. It's not just that, right? Because the reason why I came into the entertainment industry is I wanted people to feel seen. I wanted to tell, stories that no one would think to make, all these things.
Right.
But also I want to help people. I want to entertain people. I like to, these conversations that we've been having really feeds my soul.
Yeah.
And if anyone were to tell me that I'd be doing this, I'd be like, no, I wouldn't, right? So it goes beyond the identifying the talents and your superpowers and treating it as a small business, but I will also encourage people to also figure out, like, why are you here? What is your mission? And how can you work towards that, right? Because I truly believe everyone's here for a reason.
I do too.
And I feel like if anyone feels stuck, chances are you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
100%. And I am I had 7 different careers.
Right.
So this speaks to my heart. And, I started out as a lawyer, and I was a lawyer in the entertainment business, which I thought was my dream job. And I remember as I was taking my positions to get into where I felt like I wanted to be, which was in-house at a record company. You know, I thought I wanted to be, like the next Sylvia Rhone kind of thing.
Right.
You know, some Suzanne Dupass. Like that was how I was envisioning myself. But the reality was I really wanted to be an artist, but I did not have a construct in my mind to allow myself to think of myself how I wanted to be. So I attached it to, you know, these people who seemed like they had the aspects I wanted to have. But thankfully, that part of my soul that was ringing about this not being what I wanted, I indulged in other ways outside of work. And so I wound up hopping into different things along the way and looking at my job increasingly as an investor.
Right.
So my job, if you think of your job as your investor, your job is your investor, and all money is not good money. So there's some investors who are very demanding and they'll call you all the time and they're always asking you, what are you doing? And you have to service them instead of your business. There are some investors who will not give you the money that you need, and then you have to keep raising money and then you can't focus on building your business.
Right.
You know, there are some investors who are impatient and they want a return sooner than your development calls for as a small business. So the right investor is patient. The right investor gives you the right amount of money for value that you need.
Right.
You know, the right investor sits back and gives you the time to flourish and thrive, and you have a good relationship that doesn't require excess maintenance from your schedule and your time. So I think if you hear what I'm saying about how that connects to a job, the right job, and I've told so many people this, sometimes when you have something you're trying to create in parallel, which I feel like you should always have something in parallel, whether you're writing, just projects.
Yeah.
Finding the right job is the most important fit because that's your investor. And sometimes you don't need to take that big job that, is more money than that's going to, I guess give you money for the lifestyle that is going to make up for the happiness you don't have and the dissatisfaction from not pursuing your passion. Sometimes you need to take the smaller job with more flexibility because it will give you enough money to drive your other projects.
100%.
And that balance has an inherent value to it that isn't measurable, with salary and financial compensation. Mm-hmm. So I totally agree with this. I think I did an early version of this before, which made the transition. But I think so much has changed now, and I hear so many people talking about the job landscape, and people aren't hiring, and they don't know what to do with their resumes, and now the sorting systems with HR just don't even bring people in to the table for interviews. They really don't.
It's really bad. Like across the board, whether it's entertainment, media, advertising, market, whatever it is, like the landscape is changing so rapidly because of whatever, right? Insert blank.
Yeah.
But it's really about, like I said, it's future-proofing your career, but the sooner you realize what your super talents, your superpowers, your talents are, and minding them as a small business, as something that's attached to you, not the career, not the specific job, then you can pivot. Right. Because that's what people need to do.
But I think that's what people need to realize. And it's like the times have changed. This is not your parents' generation. You're not going to stay at some company
for 20, 30 years. 10 years.
10 years is a lot. 5 years is a lot.
You're right.
And depending on the type of business that you're in, if you're at a startup, 2 years is a lot. So, that's you're not going to get a pension. You do have to actually create a small business for yourself out of yourself. That is what the modern worker is.
Yeah.
You are a business of one, regardless, whether you know it or not. So I think it's a really good point to bring up and for people to be aware of.
Definitely.
Very good. Very good. offering.
I was like, yes.
No, that's so important.
Because I was reading his Substack recently and I was looking at the previous post and I was like, oh, he did talk about this. And then I realized, oh, I did do a version of this.
Say the name one more time so people, because I know I can hear a listener right now. Who she say?
I'll include the link, but his name is Evan Shapiro. He's a media cartographer. I think his Substack is called War and Peace, I want to say. But he's specific
we'll put it in the show notes.
To media.
Yeah.
But that lesson of, treating your talents as a superpower, treating your talents as a small doing
business. Inventory of your talent.
Yeah. And because I think when you take a moment to really think about like, okay, what are my skill sets and how does this apply to not just this specific job, but to my career as a whole? And then you match that with, why am I here? What am I to do on this earth? Why marry those two things, then I think you'll be happy. You'll be joyful. You'll wake up, excited about doing these things and not rolling your eyes and per my last emailing and all these other things that we've experienced in these jobs. But anyways, I think we should wrap it up, right?
Yeah, wrap it up.
So what's the final word? What's your final word?
My final word is that, so on December 2nd, 2024, who knows when people will be listening to this, but it's the National Day of Rest for Black women. I've saw it on social media.
Why is this not on my calendar?
I saw it on social media. I was like, now this is important.
December 2nd?
December 2nd.
I'll be in London.
So, make it a different day. But I think commemorating things like that and asking yourself, does it need to be a National Day of Rest? Can it be a weekly day of rest? Can it be an hour of rest? Can it be 10 minutes of rest? What does that look like?
Yeah.
What does that need to be? And for me, I have realized that doing my hair is my space of meditation. It's not just exploration for me. It is really a time for me to pamper myself, to invest in myself, and to do my gardening for myself.
Love it.
And so that is my version of rest. And I've realized it's a non-negotiable time. And so I just want to, and my final word that I'm offering is that, yes, there's this day that people are establishing to commemorate, but why don't we do that for ourselves? And what does that look like?
Often. I love that.
I mean, not just being out of office, but being off for yourself.
That's true.
And how do we carve that time out? What does that look like? So National Day of Rest, but I'm have my daily official hour or whatever it needs to be, 10 minutes. Right now on deadline, I don't know how much time it is. But I do have to carve that for myself, and I realize it's a non-negotiable.
I love that. My final word is romanticize your life.
Ooh, I love it.
It's just, what's the soundtrack that's playing in your head as you're walking down the street?
Romanticize your life.
Yes, romanticize your life. Whatever that is. Just do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking about that.
Yes. Because in my head, I'm just like, I do have a soundtrack. So I'm walking down the street with the wind blowing in my hair, I love that. When I'm walking down the steps in my house and greeting my husband and my child, I do it a very romantic way.
It's
I have fun with it.
Very, 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 I want to say Farrah Fawcett, but I need to find a different.
Yeah, no, this is a Farrah. Like, I fully accept it. I love this.
I will find another
This
reference.
is my favorite style. This is the longest I've had this style. Usually I switch it up, but
very beautiful.
Thank you very much. But yeah, romanticize your life, guys.
Okay, well, episode 3 is
in the books.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.